In this video, I'm going to go over how to create realistic looking clothing mockups in Photoshop. Now, this can be done in under 2 minutes once you know what you're doing. So if you're anything like me and have a print-on-demand store or an e-commerce brand, you'll know that the mockups offered on websites such as Printify, Printful, they're very boring, they're very generic, everybody uses them. And the last thing you want to do when trying to stand out online is look like everybody else. That's why it's important to have your own mockup that's unique to your own store. Okay, so first things first, you need to find a mockup you like the look of. Now, you can get mockups from sites such as Adobe Stock, Vecteezy, FreePick, Placeit. This particular mockup I've got open is from Vecteezy. It was free. They do have paid options, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use a free mockup. So once you got the mockup open in Photoshop, the next thing you want to do, open up your design. Now, this is not a design I've made. It was just an example I grabbed from Canva quickly. And once you've got your design open, you just want to make sure it's nice and central. It's where you want it. It's not too big, it's not too small. So after you've done that, come down here and unlock the layer by clicking on the lock. And you want to duplicate the background layer by clicking Command J on Mac or Control J on Windows. So after you've copied the background layer, you want to move the background layer above the design. And then you want to hold Option and create a clipping mask between the background layer and the design layer. And essentially by creating the clipping mask, it means that the effects that we apply on the copied background layer will only apply to the design layer. However, by doing this, you can see that the design is no longer visible. So what you want to do is change the blend mode of the copied background layer to hard light. And this will make it so the design is now slightly visible. Okay, and the next thing you want to do here that will really add a lot of depth to the image and make it look realistic is adjust the curves. So you want to make sure the copied background layer is selected, go over to Image, Adjustments, Curves, and essentially what you're doing here, you just move in the sliders, darkening the dark bits, lightening the light bits, to make the creases of our mockup really show through the graphic and give it that deep, realistic effect. So I'm just going to do that quickly and then I'll come back. Okay, so I've had a little play around with the curves and I've found what works well for this graphic. I've also made the design a lot bigger just so you can see the before and after much easier. So if we zoom in here, you'll see that the creases of the t-shirt are now visible through the graphic. So just by making those little adjustments to the curves, it's added some realism and some depth to the design. So if we zoom back out and look at the before and after effects, you can see that is what we started with. We copied the background layer, put the hard light blend mode on and adjusted the curves a little bit. And this is the final outcome. But I'd just like to finish this video with a side-by-side comparison of what we started with on the left versus what we've got on the right as our finished product. So as you can see, the finished product, it's got a lot more depth than the original image. You can see the creases of the t-shirt coming through nicely. Obviously it's nothing crazy, it didn't take very long, but that's the point. It's meant to be a time-saving tip and just something that helps your products stand out on Etsy and Shopify. So if you found this useful, let me know, and if there's anything you want me to cover in the future, drop it in the comments and I'll see what I can do.